Strive for improvement, time for the blueprint. Minds to elevate, thrive, and demonstrate, planting a movement. Sow the seeds, educate the flourish, building up the team. Our network with purpose, industry is green. Won't scratch the surface, know this call is deep. Nobody gon' outwork us. Yeah, we chasing greatness, trying to give the code. Moving up with patience, foundation stone. Doing what it takes, we're here to break the mold. This for anyone who wanna level up, let's grow.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. Guys, as always, we want to continue educating you and intertwine us with the industry. Today we have two landscapers that teamed up after a few years of already starting a business, and they are in Naples, Florida. They are known for their tropical, lush, different style landscapes using the funkiest, coolest things that you can find. Today we have Rise Architectural Design Group. What's up, boys? Thank you guys for coming all the way from Naples.
Good to see you.
These guys are awesome. I've known John for a while. He's been purchasing plants through A's. We've been able to service him and help him really, grow at the end of the day, because that's what we're all about. And then Alexander jumped on board a few years later. It's exciting, man. I'm excited for today's podcast. You guys touch so many things. You guys have grown so much. There's a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot, right?
2023 was wild.
2023
was wild. It was a wild one for sure.
All right, so let's jump in. Tell me about how you started, real quick. How you started with, opening Rise, why you wanted to open Rise, where you were when you opened Rise. Were you working? Were you not? Were you unemployed? Did you have $10 in your pocket? What's the story? And we'll jump in with Alexander.
Sweet. Yeah, so I started Rise back in 2017.
Okay.
Started off as actually Bismarck Land Care, which that's way in the past now. But
okay.
It just didn't ring right. People thought I was from Bismarck, North Dakota.
Okay.
So I was like, I need a name change.
Or
That's
you're
really
only selling
important.
Bismarcky palms.
Yeah, that's wise. Like, I love the Bismarck palm,
Yeah.
but most people don't know that.
Yeah.
So they just thought I was from North Dakota. So it's like, I need a name change. My faith's important to me. So, Rise comes from a song, "Oh God, beyond all praising."
100%.
And whether our tomorrows be filled with good or ill, we'll triumph through our sorrow and rise to bless you still.
That's awesome.
So that was always like really like special to me.
Yeah, that hit you.
So then just like that hit me, and I was like, Rise. I was like, this has like a good ring to it.
Yeah.
And I already kind of had the logo, and so I was like, I was actually I think it was my sister-in-law. I was like, just put a sun behind it. I'm like, let's do it.
I love it. No, and it also intertwines with, let's say, someone walking outside when you guys finish a landscape and the sun's up, and they can enjoy that moment.
Exactly. Like the imagery's there. I mean, that's something we get compliments all the time. Like, your logo is out of this world.
It. Yeah. That's important. We can jump into that later, but keep going.
Yeah. So, it really started out how a lot of things started. Just the guy in a truck, doing everything, cutting lawns. We did some stuff, nothing crazy. I mean, we kind of, did little projects here, $5,000, $2,000, small stuff. And I realized, and knowing myself where I was at, I knew I wanted Rise to be something bigger, something greater. Prayed a lot about it. And honestly, Alex was prayers answered. Mm-hmm. I just remember there was one distinct moment where I was outside, I went on a walk, and I just had all this work piling up, and I was like, God, I need help. Mm-hmm. I don't know what form that comes in, but I need help.
Where were you at? Hold on. This is getting deep. This is getting deep within the first 2 minutes.
Sorry, I do that.
No, I love that. Because that's how my mind works. Where were you? What were you pressed up against? Tell me what you were dealing with during that time that you had to stop and you had no one else to lean against, no one else to call, but only turn to God.
My wife and I, we were renting a place at the the National in Ave Maria.
Okay.
And a
hotel?
No, it's a
apartment building?
HOA. It's like a condo association.
Okay.
So there's like a golf course there. I would go out at night and just like
walk around.
Walk around on the golf course.
Love that.
And I was like, I just need help. We just had a lot of work coming in, and I knew I had like the skill set, but I didn't have as many years of experience as some of the other guys.
So you felt overwhelmed with what was in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Fearful of, oh my gosh, can I do it?
Okay. And Alex has been someone I'd been following on Instagram for a while.
So no relationship at that point?
At that point, we had lunch, at least once or twice, I think it was.
And now you guys met through IG?
It was a little Instagram.
Instagram's the best.
Which best business advice for anyone, you have to be on Instagram. Yes. If you're not on Instagram, you know what you're doing.
You're losing. Well, you're losing opportunity.
You're losing a lot of opportunity.
Let's not hit them too hard.
Okay, you're losing a lot of opportunity.
I think you're putting everything on the forefront on Instagram. It's like you can have a resume, you can have a piece of paper that has words on it, or you can have an iteration of your resume in real life on a daily basis. You can really go in depth and be immersive on the details of what kind of work you're protruding, whatever it is. If you're a landscape architect, designer, or any trade, you know. So I fully believe, I mean, it's a great tool, and I say tool, to put yourself out there and show people who you are, not just, words on a paper, like it was back in our parents' day.
Or a website that no one goes to.
Yeah, where you go to the meeting, you slap your paper on the table, and it's like, this is what I can do. Or, now where it's like everything, you can document it on a daily basis. You show people what you're doing. You're showing the growth. You're showing the evolution of the process, which is in your face. It's amazing.
Powerful. It's a profile.
So amazing.
Yeah, it's a profile that's active 24 hours a day. And then I feel like it also sets you apart. Like, let's say someone's gonna pick, they have 5 landscapers of that they have on let's say 5 names, and they go on social media. 3 of them don't have it. Two other guys have it. They jump on theirs. One is like, and the other one's like, wow, that's the guy most likely they're gonna go with, because they build a connection instantly with them. Right. It's different. Mm-hmm. So thank you, Alexander. Let's go with that. So you guys know, jump on IG. And Facebook and TikTok and LinkedIn and everything. Okay, YouTube Shorts. So you were you reached out to Alex.
Yep.
What, you felt like God called you to just reach out to this guy and talk to him?
Yeah, well, at that point we'd already been talking a little bit. But I'd say it was more, it came out of a cultivation of a joint love of landscape.
Okay.
He saw what I was doing. I saw what he was doing.
And he would show love, and you would show love.
Yeah, and he was doing and I'll let him talk about that, because he's doing some crazy projects at the time.
But you were not on your own. You were working somewhere. Okay.
Yeah,
so
and I was
he was working somewhere, and you were on your own.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I was like, this guy's doing some cool stuff. Him and I really connected a lot. And so I think I sent him a message. I posted on Instagram. I said, I'm looking for a project manager, right? And I think, and as a joke, he literally just goes, "What you said, like six figures, I'm there," or something like. Yeah. He's like 6 figures, I'm there. I was like, what? I'm like, and this is a guy like I looked up to. You know what I mean?
This is a guy that he's joking around.
Yeah, and I was like, what the heck?
But inside, he said that joke knowing inside that he would jump.
And then I kind of like as a joke responded. And I was just, not a joke, but like more of just feeling the water out. I was kind of like, what about a partnership? Oh. And I think like an hour went by, and then I looked back, and he's like, let's grab lunch. I was like, all right.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Yeah, and so we sat down, we had lunch, we talked. I mean, we talked for hours and hours and hours.
Imagine
and hours.
There's a million things to talk
about. Exactly. Yeah. Prayed about it a lot some more. I know he prayed about it a lot some more. We kind of tried to figure out the details of that. Mm-hmm. My dad's an attorney, so of course he was like, okay, let's pump the brakes here, John, a little bit. Yeah. He met Alex. He's like, dude, this guy's awesome. And so, I mean, we drew it up, and I was like, I told him, I said, Alex, the only thing I'm really stuck on is Rise. I said, I don't know about land care. I said, but for the one thing I don't want to change, I said, I love the logo and I love Rise. And he's just like, I think Rise Land Care, it's too small. He's like, you're thinking too small. It sounds like a maintenance company. He goes,
it does.
And he's like, why not like Rise Architectural Design Group? And I was like, I like that.
That sounds elevated.
I like that a lot.
That sounds like you can grab bigger jobs with that name.
Just a little bit.
Really with the name, and this will kind of, when we go into other stories dating back to me with my dad, is really, you don't want to limit yourself and your verbiage on how you're broadcasting your social or your business entity itself. So really, by setting the tone with Architectural Design Group, we're encompassing everything, because we do, we do inside flora, we do exterior stuff. We don't really want to be stuck with the one name. We really want to be,
and you can sub people out. Correct. You can do anything. You can touch it all.
Definitely encompassing all ends of the spectrum.
I love that. What I get from that is a different mind, different perspective. Just having a partner that's on board 100%, as driven or even more driven than you are. That right there moves mountains. So let's jump to Alexander, and let's hear his story, because his story is good too. So talk to me. Tell me how you got into the landscaping world and your upbringing, because that story is really interesting. I want you guys to listen to this. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I grew up in Winter Park, Florida, up in Orlando. My dad was one of the main landscape architectural designers, park managers for Walt Disney World for 45 years.
Wow.
So growing up as a kid was pretty wild. Weekends with dad at Disney while resorts and theme parks are being built. So wow. It was truly amazing childhood, just getting, and now at the age I get to really, I look back and get to emphasize more now being where I am in my career, but just going back, remembering weekends, you know, when one of my most memorable is one of his last projects was Animal Kingdom, you know, a little park called Animal Kingdom.
A little park.
So, you know, I was out there with my dad, Joe Rohde, Paul Comstock, all these major architects and engineers, and, you know, they set the tone on how that park was going to be designed. And, you know, that for me, now looking back and hearing the stories and stuff, it was just amazing seeing how they really came in there and set foot to it. And I got to see it, you know.
That's crazy.
I remember as a little kid sitting with my dad's assistant in the golf cart, and they have their little flag canisters with the marking flags, and they're all walking up and down the berms throwing flags where trees were going, and then you had 300 people behind them with cranes and trees going in, holes being dug, trees going in. So it was really it was an overwhelming experience when I was younger. You know, thinking I was just my eyes were going a million miles an hour.
You were
everywhere.
paying attention, though.
Yeah, so it was really cool being able to be a part of that experience and seeing that, you know, as a child. You know, weekends with dad, I loved it. He picked me up. I would literally got to see behind the scenes of everything. You know,
that is awesome.
You know, on a golf cart, get to drive up on, you know, behind the scenes of the rides. I was. I want to say 9 to 13 range.
Okay.
A little bit older than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
that's an experience in
I was
itself.
old enough to remember it, but not, you know, but now, like I said, being, you know, in the industry.
And an adult as well.
Yeah. It's just, you know, it's like, wow, it's really cool. It's
amazing.
amazing.
It's super cool. So that sparked your interest, obviously, into what you do today.
Yes.
And why you have such a passion for plants and and landscape and design and everything else you guys touch. So from there, let's jump to, you were working at a what were you doing, landscaping, when you reached out to him?
Yeah, so my, you know, little small snip of my career, you know, I work for I started off, my dad retired from Walt Disney World. We moved down to Naples, Florida. He bought into a small company at the time called Landscape Florida, which was a Evans Holdings company. He kind of built that up. I started my career there, started at the bottom, worked all the trades, and then about year, I would say 4 or 5 of my 15-year spurt, right now 16-year spurt, I got into design, and that's kind of where my whole dimension changed and aspect of the industry was just kind of set free. And it's just like, you know, having my dad being a guy at Disney where there was no limits. There's no limits.
Yeah.
You know, so you pretty much, it's, if you can think of it,
we'll do it.
You make it happen.
That's crazy,
so,
man.
you know, that's been my whole genre in life. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly of it is, you know, you go big. You go big, and then you can scale it back down, you know, to fit the needs of it. So
that's what you've seen. That's what you've learned over the time.
Correct.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that business, you jumped out of it to come and finally start something with someone that you feel is as passionate as you.
Yeah, so I work for a couple private companies, corporate companies, and I love doing. I work with amazing teams.
Doing architecture.
Yeah, doing architecture. I was part of a project in Jamaica, Half Moon Resort. You know, little resort called Half Moon Resort. So we did the whole renovation project. That was about 8-9 years ago.
Of the building or the landscape?
The whole island
place.
Renovation, resort renovation. So that was a 6-month stint flying back and forth with the design team. What was your position there? I was one of the architectural design leads on that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, man. And that was my younger years, so it was wild. It was super wild going back and forth, the travel,
opportunity,
yeah, and then the logistics of it and the team effort. And the way materials got barged in, you know, we had crews working 24 hours a day. So we had morning crews, night crews. So it was you know, it never stopped. For 6 months, it was rolling.
It's a party all night long. It's like Miami.
You know? Yeah. So it was crazy. It was amazing because, you know, getting the job itself is cool, but it's all the skeleton parts of that job is really the cool part of it is, you know, seeing, you know, dirt base and then building up into a different environment
and everything it takes, and you can't skip a step because then you got to regress. You
have the final result, either your client or you have, you know, people coming to the resort or the parks, and then they're just like, wow, this is awesome, but they really, you know, it's like the whole skeleton, the back part of it, you know, and that's what gets me going. You know, the end result's amazing, but it's really the topography and buildup of it.
When you look back at just what you guys have said, like you were stuck in a spot that you didn't know what to do. You know, you reached out to God because that's the only real guy that you can lean on. There's no one else. And he brought this guy into your life before that you didn't even know it was gonna be him. It was a story, 24-hour story that you posted on, or it was an actual post that you posted on IG?
Yeah, it was a story. No, a story.
It was a story
for when
so
you posted
had,
about the like looking for someone.
So he had 24 hours, John, to see that.
And I was on peak's edge to myself because I was at the point in my career where I'm like, I love my industry so much, and I'm making these guys tons of money, and I'm just like, all right, I'm ready just to go off on my own and have that creative freedom. I'm not a money driven guy. I love my plants and design. That's what drives me.
Creative driven guy.
Yeah, so it's just I wanted to go off on my own. So I was at that point already getting to that process. All right, I'm gonna go off on my own, start my own little thing, and then that's when you
saw that
everything was brought in. A lot of prayers, a lot of crazy nights thinking, what am I going to do?
Oh, it's scary, man.
And then it's amazing how kind of, God brings everyone into the right picture.
At the right time.
At the right time.
At the right time. So he had 24 hours to see that story, John. Your mind was thinking small because you didn't have the faith in yourself to think big. Okay? Then you got this guy, out of all the people that he can send you. He sends you Alexander the Great. That's going to be your new name. That his background from a little kid was being brought up in a whole different world, filling shoes that no kid gets to fill. Really. 10 kids maybe 50 kids in the world get to fill shoes like that and actually show up at job sites and witness all of this. He was building them for you guys to team up, to think massive. And look, just the name, instantly, let's change it. Those little things that you don't even see, you don't even think about. Someone else based off their upbringing and what they've gone through in life and what they've seen and what they've been able to be a part of, they can come in and move mountains. And that's what I see on this team up. You guys have different shoes that you both fill, right? You guys don't touch the same things?
Yes and no. It's
yes
kind of
and
a
no?
crossover.
Okay.
Yeah, we were kind of like talking about that. Like, it's just like...
Because that's a big thing in partnerships.
Correct.
You don't want to overstep each other.
And that's something I told Alex too. It's like, look, at the end of the day, when it comes to design intent, you are the lead on that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to follow you on that.
Yeah, because he has more experience.
Exactly.
More confidence.
And on the flip side of that, I actually kind of like and nerd out on a lot of like the more back office systems.
Okay.
Making sure things are run smoothly, making sure things are done in the right order. And more of the back office, like busy work, I guess you can say, more of the business end.
Okay.
Where I think a lot of times Alex is like, dude, let me do the plants. I was like, all right, sounds good.
Let me do what I do and you do with everything else.
So he's like, hey, we need that permit. I was like, got it, man. So I get with the office team, make sure that kind of stuff is teed up, making sure we got, A's ready to go with the plants. But then at the same time, like we both share that love of design, that love
You guys both work on it.
of plants. And so
Alexander will show up and be like, look what I did. What do you think about this? And then you can be like, oh, but I would love a cabbage palm over here. I would love this alocasia over here. Whatever it may be.
And we both, it's good because we can both keep each other moving and motivated. And I'm a very, I guess, type A in a lot of ways, which sometimes like Alex is like, John, just pump the brakes a little bit. Because I'll be like, Alex, here's my bullet list of 15 things. Have you done this? John, it's been 5 minutes. No, I haven't. I haven't emailed them yet.
Look at Eddie.
I was like, okay. I was like, all right, point number 2. I was like, have you done this? No, John, that was 10 minutes ago, man. Give me a second.
Guys, you can't see this for you guys watching on YouTube, but Eddie's staring at me because that's me. I mean, I walk in here and I'm like, dude, look, man, what do you think about this? Man, relax, man. I got all this stuff. We got to release this podcast. We got to do this. No, it happens, bro. It's the excitement, man. And then you want to grab all the opportunities. You want to create the opportunities. You just want to go, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like driven entrepreneurs, because that's what we are. Everyone in this room. And you guys listening, for those of you that are, we feel behind. I feel behind a lot. And even though I'm not behind, I feel that way. And I feel a sense of urgency that is like really real. And then other people around me, not saying, staff, but let's say people that I'm linking up with or people that I talk to, they don't have that urgency. So it's like, man, we're not on the same wavelength when it comes to that. Like working together, I gotta work with people that move. Because if not, you're gonna fall behind, you're gonna drag me, and I can't do that. And the team is like on fire. So they're used to me. So like when it's slow season, like whenever we have like a little drought, one of the office staff will be like, boss, why is there mistakes happening? And I'm like, because we're not busy. What do you mean? I said, yeah, they have too much time to think about their girlfriend and about what they're going to do this weekend. And that's why there's mistakes. If they're busy and they feel pressure, there's no time to, think of anything else. It's go time. And that's how we operate. We all operate really well like that. But, man, you guys' story is crazy, man. I'm so glad you guys are here doing this podcast.
We're pumped to be here.
Oh, man. Where do we go from here, man? So now talk to me. So now since Alexander's on board, bigger, way bigger visionary, John, we can touch this, we can touch that, because he's been a part of Jamaica and all these crazy things that he's been able to be a part of himself. Not as a kid watching his dad. He's actually being part of it himself. What have you guys been able to do, shift, and change to really grasp his background, his knowledge, and level up the company?
Well, I think just from a more kind of basic practical, so 2022, was the end of 2022 you came on?
Yeah.
And automatically, I mean, the amount of work that we were able to get done, jobs we were bringing in, skyrocketed. Since 2022.
From the reputation?
We had both John and I had a really good clientele base and support. So we really, from being in the industry for so long, people were already, years prior saying, hey, you guys need to get out there and do your thing, or, join up with someone and get with the right person prior till I was with John. So like I said, everything just kind of culminated into that.
So so what comes to my mind is that from day one, you've always put 100% effort.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You feel like that has a lot to do with the longevity and where you end up in your career?
100%. And I think too, with me and John's partnership, I've been a little bit older, a little more life experiences on different spectrums in our life. So for me, I know when to go, but I know when to be able to set back. Yeah, because I know I know the process somewhat to a degree.
Yeah, you know
so
what
for
it
me,
smells like.
Yeah, exactly. So John, like I said, love John to death. John gets super excited, which I love it, because he keeps that. I feel like that keeps me on too. Because John will be calling me at like 5 o'clock in the morning. All right, Alex, you ready to go? We got to do this. We got to do this. And then we're that's how we start our days.
My coffee yet.
Yeah. And that's our thing, communication. Me and John were always on the phone. If we're not together throughout the day, we're on the phone. Like last night we were working at one of our estate homes down on Gordon Drive till like 12 o'clock in the morning this morning. So we're, our teams implemented.
And did you want to be anywhere else?
No. Oh no. It was amazing.
It was awesome.
We were at a gorgeous estate home, one of our clients' houses we take care of, implemented a new landscape immersive design system for their I think it's a 5 acre property.
What is that? Elaborate on what that is.
So we pretty much, after her last past hurricanes and storms, their whole property got wiped out with electrical and stuff. They pretty much brought our company Rise ADG on board to implement a new system, new designs, new flora to this property just recently in the past couple of months. So
is this that property?
That was the one.
Okay, we'll jump in. We'll jump in now and talk about it.
Yeah, so they pretty much went through, met with some other big box companies in town, weren't too impressed, and brought me and John out to the property to meet with the owners and property manager on site, and they loved our story, loved our process of how we do things and implement it, and kind of started off with a phase 1 with a front entry redesign to test the waters with them, and they absolutely loved it, and now we're in phase like 15 or 16 now there of doing work. So it's been crazy.
This is a property management company.
No, so it's an estate manager. So we have an estate manager that works for the family
for that estate.
Correct. Okay. For that estate. So
that's how big the estate is.
Correct. Yeah. And then I'll have to say that thing that was in the late 90s. This house was on the front cover of Architectural Digest.
Wow.
So we feel very proud.
It's a staple.
Very, very proud to be part of this.
Just being connected with those people. You think about all the different people that either get to see it or the people that they know. And they're going to recommend you guys. If you guys are enjoying the content that we're putting out here on the Plant Movement Podcast, make sure to subscribe and follow, giving us a 5-star review. It really goes a long way. Also, share it with someone that can benefit from this content. As always, we want to continue connecting you with people in the green industry. And make sure you get in touch if you want to jump on the podcast. Let's go. So it's only going to allow you to climb far. You ready for that? you're gonna be saying another prayer. You're gonna need another Alexander. Both of y'all gonna be by the golf course praying together on hole 9.
Oh my God.
No, because that's how it goes, you know, and you got to be ready for that because that's the shoes that you guys are jumping in. And if you're not ready to, you know, to surf that wave, that you're going to be back where you were.
Yeah.
So, guys, John the other day on his personal IG posted a video at night with the lights at an estate, and he wrote something that I found out today that he wasn't going to, but he wrote a whole page at the bottom of this post talking about what this one project meant and why it was so special. And I want you guys to hear this story because listen to how the world works.
Yeah, so growing up, I had this love of landscape, but I didn't necessarily grow up in the industry, kind of like Alex had, or but it was more of, you know, following the landscapers around the house, like when they were at my dad's place. Like he was obsessed with his yard, so I'd just be like asking him questions, and I was like, "Well, that plant's really cool. Like, what's that?"
That's cool.
Really self-taught, and so I don't even know why we were down there. I think I was maybe 7 or 8, just driving down Gordon Drive, which Gordon Drive is kind of like the Billionaires Row, kind of like in Palm Beach, where it's like, I mean, the houses are beautiful, they're breathtaking. Yeah. And I remember I was in the car, I was looking out the window, kid, just mesmerized by these just out of these world landscapes. And we passed by this one house, and it had this incredible lagoon, like a landscaped lagoon out front. It's like, oh my gosh, that's one of the most beautiful landscapes I've ever seen in my life. Between the lagoon and the palms and all the flora, I mean, it was breathtaking.
It made an impact at
it was
8 years old.
Yeah, as 8 years old, I was like, that is beautiful. Wow. I was like, one day I'll do something like that. And then sure enough, you know, all the, you know, starting from the bottom, grinding myself, cutting grass, meeting Alex, partnering up with Alex, doing big things. And then one day, I think Alex and I were in the truck or something, and we got a phone call. I was like, the estate manager's like, hey, this is you know, estate manager at, you know, this house on Gordon Drive. And I look at Alex, and we're like,
that's the house.
I was like, whoa.
So I would love to be a fly when you guys hung up from that call. In the cab of that truck.
So I was bouncing off the wall, and I was like pumped, and then Alex was like,
"Yeah, we don't get too excited. I mean, it's like you get calls all the time. So
well, you get excited.
We were excited about like that was like, oh, John's like, that's the house.
The house. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, cool. That's cool, man. And then to be on phase 14, you guys have revamped that whole house.
Well, and it kind of like echo what Alex was saying too, is like when we do stuff, we go big, right? So the first thing they trusted us with, they had some kind of holes in their areca hedges. Okay. And so they want us to bring arecas in. And so I think the ones that were there were maybe 25 foot.
How big were the gaps?
Maybe 12 feet.
Oh, so
12 to 15 feet.
There was some big gaps.
There's some pretty big gaps.
Yeah, but to match that.
Correct. And they had taken out a bunch of banyans that had died in the hurricane. And so Alex was like, we got to go big. I was like, well, you know, we can get these. He's like, no, we got to go big. Big. And we brought, I mean, they were
Alex knows about this stuff.
We looked for a while, and we were able to find, I think they were like 35 foot. Arecas.
You can't find them anymore.
And they showed up at the estate, and the estate manager's looking at us. He's like, oh, you guys weren't kidding. He's like, those things are huge.
Yeah, but that puts you at a level of respect in those people's eyes, because like, man, these guys got balls. Think about it. That's what I would think. I'm like, man, these guys are the bomb. Look at this. They're not even scared. Look at them having a sandwich, walking around.
Well, and I think because of that too, that really opened that door of trust, especially with the homeowner, because these people, I mean, they deal with, you know, guys like us a lot, right? Yeah. So and a lot of times, you know, I think sometimes in the blue collar industry, we're our own worst enemy.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Where we shoot ourselves.
We hurt ourselves. Yeah.
We you know, we're not honest about pricing. We're not honest with our time. We're not honest with, you know, doing the right thing 100% of the time, answering the phone, coming to meetings when you say you're going to be there. And so I think for the homeowner, he's like, well, these guys are legit. Like they're actually really on point, and they're really trying to do something great. And I'm going to let Alex tell this part, because last night when we finished the lighting, the homeowner came up to us, and it was just like, it was a big moment. I think it really impacted both of us, but I think it impacted Alex in a
no wonder you were there till midnight last night.
No, it was really cool experience. You know, we get done doing what we had to do last night, up and down on lifts. John's running around crazy.
Team's with you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The guys out
there.
So we get done, and then the clients get back. This is probably like 11:30. The clients.
Guys,
get
listen,
back.
they're working at 11:30 at night with their crew.
Yeah.
Listen
So
to that, guys.
The clients get back in. So we had implemented some of the color changing lights on the front banyans and Cuban laurels out front. So we kind of mimicked the colors of our local botanical garden, Naples Botanical Garden, to mimic the ambiance. So we did that. The clients pulled in and they came out and they were ecstatic. They were like, "Oh my gosh, this looks amazing!" Da da da. And then the mister came up to us and just told us, he's just like, you guys blew my expectations out of the water.
Wow.
And this guy, I have to say, this guy has a lot of zeros. And when I say a lot of zeros, when you think of a lot of zeros, add another million zeros, and add another million, and add another million zeros to that. So he came up and he pretty much, like I said, he said, "I wasn't expecting this." He's like, "You guys did an amazing job. You should be proud of yourselves."
Wow.
He's like, "Now my neighbors have to catch up." And then he walked away.
Give me 5, guys. I love that, man.
So,
man, that's so powerful.
It was
dude.
Super cool.
How did that make you guys feel?
It was amazing. It was amazing. And I think, like, me and John last night, we're getting down where, it's sometimes it's not words expressed, it's look. Like, me and John had that look at each other like, dude, we're doing like the amazing
we're
stuff.
Here, bro.
We're here.
2024. Get ready.
And for me, I've had hundreds of the late nights and stuff doing that, and it's like bringing John into this culture, which John's done cool stuff like this too, but it's like working together now as a team and doing it for our own company is like, it's amazing.
It's fire,
it's amazing.
I love that, man. That story is just amazing, dude. And that's the same estate that you would drive by as a kid. And the owner of the estate, when did you, man, think about that. Who would have known that you would have had that opportunity to do so? But I want you guys to know that you guys are fearless together.
You have to be.
You
have to be,
bro.
You have
because
to be.
If not, you wouldn't have showed up for that one thing. You would have been nervous. Oh, we can't do this. And it happens at the right time, because if you would have got that call 2 years ago, you would have lost the opportunity. Mm-hmm. But God sets it up in the right time, in the right place, for everything to flow the way it's supposed to. And you guys went above and beyond. And for a billionaire, whoever he is, trillionaire, to show up and tell you that means a lot. And then to throw even the little joke in about, now my neighbor's got to catch up. That should make you guys more than proud.
Oh, 100%.
More than proud, and I feel like that's just going to continue to open doors. Like I said, you get ready, because you will be there at the golf course at night walking around worried. And then you'll need an Alexander 2.0 for whatever that might be, because who knows what's next. Where are you guys? So right now you guys are touching all these different things. What's next for you guys? Like, are you guys willing to continue to just go wherever the demand takes you?
Oh, most definitely. We take pride in having the ability to be able to travel anywhere in the world. So our team has the capability to travel anywhere, work with designers, implement new designs, do all the logistical planning and the whole process. So that's our background. We love doing it. So we'll have clients that have houses locally here, where we're at in Naples.
But then they have houses somewhere else.
Up north, and we'll do travel jobs and stuff like that. And so it's a cool process. Not everybody's able to get to do that kind of work, but we've been very blessed, and we're looking forward to the future. And especially we feel, especially with the green movement, everything's going green, more organic. There's a lot of new opportunities out there. So it's super exciting.
I'm
very
excited for you guys, man.
Very exciting.
We had a landscaper that he works up in like Palm Beach area, and he got his first job from a client that has a house in the Bahamas. So he reached out to A's, and through A's we were able to get him everything over there, and he went and knocked it out of the park.
Wow.
But that's the thing. You can't be scared, because if you're scared, you're limiting yourself. And if you're trying to grasp every opportunity to take advantage of the time you have here on earth to go after whatever it is that you want, or whatever it is coming your way, it's not so much what you want, it's what's thrown at you, and you make the best out of it. That's what kind of gives you purpose, and you start to find purpose. You start to do more soul searching. I feel like really going up against your fears, you search more for what's inside of you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because you got to be more prepared mentally to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I think me and John, we have so many cool stories together. But I think, like, in the beginning when we first partnered up and started doing jobs, when I would call John and tell him I have a job, he didn't know what to expect. So
Oh, Lord, not another one.
I'd be like, "Hey, John, we got to put a tree in," and then his next question is, "Well, how big's the tree?" I'm like, so I get
Guys,
too
we're
excited
laughing
here.
so much. This is exciting, man. Just thinking about, the journey. I love to think about the journey. I love being alone at night. I hang out with my wife, but I also get my good hour in by myself.
100%.
And that for me is a time to just recollect on so many different things. And I love playing back the movie because now I see the movie differently. As an adult, as someone that is more put together to where I am in this stage of my life. And you guys is just opportunities and everything is crazy. And you guys are fresh. Like, how old are you, Alex?
35.
And you, John?
29.
29 and 35. You guys are babies.
Hey, we could just keep it in the middle if you want,
Yeah,
John.
right? No. On average. What's on average? 31 and a half, 32, 30. And think about, you guys have a limitless mindset. You guys are ready for whatever comes your way. You're going to execute it at 100,000% in. You're going to make sure that every T is crossed, every I is dotted. You're not going to overlook anything. If you do, you're going to make it right. You're going to come through. What can't you guys do? That's the mindset of someone that is really after it all in life.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think for me and John is we surround ourselves with good teams. You have to have a good team in life, because you're always going to have good and bad things go wrong. You got to have good teams around you in life to be able to get around those or accomplish certain tasks that need to be done.
How many guys are with you guys now?
We got over 10 guys, 15 guys right now.
So you guys do all of this
Yes.
with a small crew.
Yeah,
So you guys are
small
very
crew.
efficient.
Yeah.
That means everything on the back end is done really, really well.
So
That's
we work
John
on
right there.
for bigger things, hardscapes and stuff. We'll bring in our
Your
subcontractor
connections.
teams and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Which falls into the right
Yeah,
teams.
definitely.
Because a subcontractor can blow up your opportunity in a second.
Definitely.
Which a lot of people are scared of.
Yeah. But me and John, we're both adamant about design, intent, and control on projects. So, we're hand in hand with the clients through the whole process. We don't let things go astray, which we see with jobs in Naples or in certain areas that we work at all the time happen, So it's alleviating those small issues, working through it, communication.
And working with right people.
Correct. Yeah.
Like if Buddy says he's going to be there at 9 and it's 11:30, you haven't received a text, that's not a guy you would want to work with anymore.
Correct.
You call him and say, "Hey, dude, just don't even worry about it. I already got somebody else on the way."
Exactly.
No, you gotta have that, man.
But it's very
I just know.
optimistic.
So I get excited because I've been able to be a part of things that I never thought I would have been a part of. This being one of them, and all the experiences that have happened, and all the people I get to meet, the people I get to talk to every single day, and the things that we've been able to implement, the people that God has put around to be able to make this actually happen. Everything that goes on, everything that we touch. It's to the point where if an idea sparks, we think about it, we brainstorm, and within days, it's done, or weeks, it's opened. That's how powerful it is because we have a business that's done right, that has funding to be able to do
And
it.
you do something. You trust people until they lose your trust. And
Yeah.
me, I don't
Yeah.
trust people until they
Yeah.
gain my trust. So
And
that's where
I think a big key to success, especially in certain areas, Naples, it's like that, is a delegation of clients. You as a business person, not as only a designer, but as a business person, when you're going to meet a client, that's kind of like your interview with them too, to be like, do I want to work with this person
Exactly.
or not? How is this whole process
have an
gonna be?
attitude. You don't even wanna-
Exactly.
you don't even
Yeah,
wanna be there.
exactly. So it's like we love work, small work, big work, everything, obviously, but you want to work with the right people that see your vision, that you can collaborate with, or they let you take the design lead on. We've had a couple, clients where it's just like we look back now and we're like, why did we do that?
Yeah. Because
why
you
did we do
did.
that?
You didn't know any better.
Yeah. But it's just you learn your life, and that's growing in life, is learning your lessons and getting better and doing bigger and better things,
Yeah.
not being scared.
Yeah, I always say it's better to have learned it at that moment than 10 years down the road.
Correct.
It could have been a bigger hit or a bigger problem.
Correct.
So now those are the things that you sniff out. You smell it. Oh, it doesn't smell right. We're not going to go that way.
Correct.
And you keep going on what you guys like to do. At the end of the day, you guys are at a point, let's say maybe not 100%, but you're getting to there, if you're not there already, where you can pick and choose who you work with. That just because work's coming in doesn't mean you're going to grab it all. And that right there, dude, is a prestige, man. That's prestigious. That's something that, you know, a lot of people would die to, you know, for be in those shoes and have those options. The reality is you grab whatever comes. And if their client is a pain, well, guess what? You better swallow it. You better have patience.
Yeah.
You know, God's going to test you with your patience. And that's what it is. Yeah. And you have to do it because there's nothing else coming in. No, and that's the reality. And not everybody today is doing, you know, big projects. You guys are lucky you're in Naples. It's a money town. It's a town with money, and there's a lot of opportunities, and you guys are scaling to the 1%ers.
Correct. You know, and John and I, at the end of the day, we don't want to put our name on something that we don't agree with, and you know, with our design or something like that. So
because you're at that point.
Correct. Yeah.
Where it matters.
Yeah. So it's just, you know, we're not gonna go put, you know, a couple flowers and some red mulch in for you. We do. That's not our game. Yeah. You know.
You guys maintain all the landscapes you do.
Yeah, we do. We do the design, build, maintain, which is awesome.
It keeps everything rolling.
Yeah. We give the option with the clients that, you know, before the process to do the maintenance afterwards. They'll kind of get an extended warranty process from them, alleviates any issues you have to deal with. Kind of some companies like to kind of drop stuff in, go and disappear, and you never hear from them.
Well, that's the majority. Landscapers normally they'll do a design or they'll get a design from someone, they'll do it, and then they're out. Mm-hmm. That's the majority. That's landscaping, and there's nothing wrong with it. But you gotta want it more.
Correct.
You gotta want more to be able to, you know, keep up with all that.
Correct.
Because when you look at it, you know, 20 years down the road, you guys are gonna have 100 people just doing maintenance. You know, are you ready for that? You know, are you ready to scale like that? And that's why it's so important to put your money back in. You know, and not take. Well, at least that's what I preach. Now I don't know what you guys do, but for me, it's all about put it back in and let's grow it.
No, definitely.
You know, because I know that when I go to cash in later, boy, it's gonna be a lot. You know, and I'm not taking pennies today, giving up $100 bills tomorrow.
Correct.
That's how I look at it, and that's what's always worked.
Yeah, that was kind of something else when we had partnered up. I told Alex, and when he agreed with me, I was like, okay, this is a good match. Mm-hmm. I was like, I will never sell.
Okay.
I was like, I love the industry. I love like what we're doing. Like I want to build something. Like I'm not in it for the money. I knew he wasn't in it for the money. Like we want to leave a legacy, like for our kids. You know what I mean? Where they can come and they can, you know what I mean. So
you
not
guys
just
have kids. You have
two boys.
Two boys.
Two boys.
Okay.
Two crazy boys.
Yeah. I got 3 myself. So it's the passion, it's the purpose, and money comes when you go after the thing that you feel that you are best at. Not so much that you love, because you might love landscapes, looking at them, but now you got to do it. So you might not love the whole process, but doing it and then getting to that point where it's done, it's like, man, I found my purpose and I'm doing something positive. I'm doing something that I'm good at, and the money will always come.
Exactly.
I feel like when you search for money, you do a lot of shady things. You just go after it in a different way because what you're looking for is the money. So people do anything for money. But if you're looking at it in you guys' perspective, it's not about money. It's about creating. And from there, the money, look, it comes, guys. It's like retarded.
Well, creating and like, again, like going back to like last night, like seeing that, like we changed that couple's like whole world.
Yeah.
Just like what we were able to like contribute to that property. Like their whole, every night now, that new.
The Rise logo.
They're just like.
I think of the Rise logo. For real. Yeah. For real. You're gonna put a smile. They will never forget you guys. They'll never forget you guys. And then you guys will be the first on their list when anybody, anywhere says,
yeah,
hey, I'm looking for a landscape. I want to do this beautiful design. Oh, I got the boys. From start to finish, they'll take care of everything. Get on their list. They're booked for 3 years.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
Brother, from my mouth to God's ears. Why couldn't that be a reality? I service people that are booked right now for a year to a year and a half. Why couldn't that be everyone's situation that really puts that attention to detail and love into what they do? I don't see a reason why not. I feel like the sky's the limit. You should be able to blow yourselves away on this journey.
We're ready for it.
I feel like you've already had.
We're in it right
multiple
now.
times.
We're in it right now.
Yeah.
We got a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Yeah. So now, like, let's say you're the smallest job that you guys would jump on. What is that? 10, 20, 30?
So right now we're at the point, we don't want to set ourselves.
Not so much a number.
Depends on the client.
Huh? It depends on the client, but usually we kind of, anything under 5, we turn away from with stuff right at this point.
Unless it's an existing client.
Existing client or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, right now our emphasis is design, installation, kind of building up our studios, Rise Studios.
What's Rise Studios?
That's kind of we want to build into really a big design platform. We want to be able to be
Like
I
a
said,
Raymond Jungles?
Yeah, kind of going back to the beginning of the conversation with setting the tone of the name of our company and our brand. Rise Architectural Design Group.
Wow.
So covering all bases. Everything under the sun.
So
per se.
so that's the dream.
Correct.
Oh, bro, I love it, dude.
So
I
we
love
got
it,
a lot
man.
of cool things.
Oh
in
man,
ours.
so that's the dream to work towards.
Yeah.
Imagine that, a big design firm.
Yeah.
Oh, like I follow Raymond Jungles on IG. Raymond, just so you know, if anyone is connected with Mr. Raymond, let him know that I would love to sit down and talk to him. He's a legend, and why couldn't you guys be legends, right? And that's someone that is fulfilling those shoes, that one day won't be here to fill those shoes, that someone else has to pick them up. Like, there's a lot of love and passion for what you guys are doing, and there's a lot more people really interested in it. It's crazy, dude. And then also, you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I just think it's really cool too, just seeing there's not a lot of young guys, but there's a lot of passionate young guys.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like even in Naples, like, we're probably two of the only guys our age doing it. Like, we're going up against,
with what you do, the level of
correct.
what you do.
The guys, I would say, our quote unquote like competition. I hate saying competition because I don't like getting in the weeds on that.
Yeah.
But they're all like 50, 60. Like, they're ready to be done.
Did you hear that, guys? It's what I preach all the time.
But like, I don't think
A lot of
there's
opportunities.
But it's cool, like seeing guys like Hardy, like Garrett Hardy, Joe Mastraccio.
Yeah. Oh, these guys are.
Was
killing
it Matt on
Matt Waterford?
Brevard.
Oh, Brevard.
Yeah, no, he was on. He was on here a few. Yeah. Seeing
Brevard was here. Yeah.
Seeing those younger guys like crushing it is just like it's cool to see that, and to be a part of that like younger generation of
entrepreneurs in the industry.
And shout out to Joe, West Palm Beach. What's up, man?
Yeah.
we love Joe. We love Joe.
And another thing I kind of like to touch on is, like John was saying, there's so many passionate people that are in the industry. But for us, we like to take it up, to another level. We're actually traveling for fun to go find new flora. We're in the field, like we're working with you guys. We're out with our clients as a team, going through the process, hands on. So that's the big thing for me. I love everyone we work with, but for sometimes I like to go out and touch the stuff. I'm out in the field. I want to go see what it is, what it's like in the ground, what it's doing, and really taking it to that next level. And like I said, there's so many passionate people in this industry, but like we want to dive into the layers of the design aspect of it and really see what can be done, and do things that are out of the ordinary. If we're going to bring in a tree that's only going to survive a year or two, we're going to make that part of our process in the design. Or if it's a bush that's only going to work for 6 months but the client wants it, we can make it part of the design. We do that. So It's just different elements and aspects of how we work things.
Learning.
I think too, and Alex really pushes this hard, is let's do something, like doing something different. Like on that the estate we were working on, I was like, well, let's do like a front Carissa, border planting, just kind of as the first layer. And Alex looked at me, he says, no, Sarissa. I go, no, Carissa. He goes, John, everyone does Carissa. Yeah. It's like, let's do some Sarissa. It's like, just kind of have that layered in. Yeah. He had another layer of the jasmine underneath. I was like, that's not something you see all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I think that's something Alex really brings, is like, let's do something different. Everyone does this. How can we do this different and make this even more beautiful than anything else that you see right now?
The one thing I see that separates you guys from the awesome people that are really driven in this industry as well is that you guys have become fearless. And I feel like one thing that limits a lot of people just in general, and we could keep it tied to this industry because that's what this podcast is the fear. That's hard to overcome. It's the hardest thing. But you guys, everything you tell me, all I think about is fearless. That's what I see. And that's why you guys have been able to do what you've done in such a short period. For real.
No, I agree. And you don't think about it too.
Yeah, you don't think about it. You just go.
Yeah, and for me, like, and John last night, like when we're getting home late, like into this morning, like I feel like I haven't done enough. I'm like, I get home, I'm like,
We were
man,
talking about
I'm
it.
like, it's like I'm like, I get home, like, oh man, I got stuff, like I got to do stuff or whatever. Then I'm like, I only got 4 hours of sleep. And then I'm like, it's like I feel like you're as entrepreneurs and business guys, like we all like, we're always putting ourselves in that shoes, which some people don't understand unless you're kind of.
There's no switch, there's no breaker to shut it
Correct.
off. I tell like family and friends, I shut it off when I go to sleep. That's the only time.
Yeah.
But I also got to tie in my family. I got to tie in my wife. I got to tie in,
100%.
Hanging out with some friends once in a while, because if not, they feel like you don't love them anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I love everybody, but it's like, I don't know. I'm on a mission, man.
And that's, I think, for me, it's been I have my 2 boys, and with the business and design and everything. That I think that's always a challenge. It's
a big challenge.
Is because you really design to do good design work takes a lot of mental thinking, team planning,
and time.
If me and John are stuck in the studios for hours, drawing or on the computer, putting CAD together, we're just like, it's so much to do, and there's so much time into the design process that people don't understand. And you put that in the mix on top of having a family, running the business itself, being in the field, making sure the process is happening right.
And then you're pressured on time because they have a deadline.
Correct.
And getting everyone around you to understand that's what you're doing and dealing with
the
right
only
now.
thing I don't have to worry about on a project is when that A's ornamental truck is going to be out front. I can tell you, before the coffee's brewing that morning, that truck is already out front. I can tell you that right now, for sure.
Man, it's great for you guys to say that. Thank you, man.
Love it.
We work hard on doing what we do. And we really do it to help you guys elevate. And I've said this before on podcasts, and it's truly what it is, because how can you guys be working with such, at such a level, and, whoever brings you product or whoever brings you anything shows up late, it's not right, not on time, the product's not counted right, the plants look like crap. I know we've been dealing with a lot with shortages over the past couple of years, so that's just, it's normal. I feel like everybody understands it now. And we always send an estimate first to get a thumbs up. That way you guys know what size you're going to get. There's not really anything crazy going on. Maybe 1 or 2, but we fix it. That right there is something that I feel like we have to bring to the table for you guys to even be accessible to work for you, because you guys need that. Just like the guy we said earlier. He's 2 hours late. The subcontractor, the guy you subbed, he doesn't show up, he doesn't call, he doesn't text. Bye. On to the next one. You guys are on a mission.
100%.
So you need people on your team that can really help you move forward. And if they don't bring that to the table, sorry, Charlie, I love you, bro. No hard feelings, but I just can't work with you, dude.
Yeah, definitely. And it's definitely, sustaining your relationships with the industry, obviously, like with you guys, because we'll have times being in, with our type of business, more strong end of design installation, we'll have periods where we're in design processes. So we'll have a couple weeks or a month in between projects or big projects. So it's really maintaining our relationships with you, staying in contact and keeping the flow of communication to keep the,
important.
Everything strong within the community.
And for us, knowing when you need it is our biggest thing.
Correct.
That way we can have it and that way we have no problems.
And I have to say, I think a couple times I've thrown some on John where I got a call, we got to get this done. And the first thing out of John's words is, I'm calling Willie right now. I'm calling Willie.
John is plugged in. He can call me, and I pick up every time unless I'm busy.
It's hilarious. So.
No, man, we get things done. I have a landscaper in Palm Beach. No, he's not in Palm Beach. He's in Fort Lauderdale. He'll call me. He'll be like, Willie, I need you to catch a Hail Mary for me. I'm like, well, throw it, brother. What do you need? He's like, I need this, and this. Okay, no problem, dude. I need it today. And it's 9 a.m. I was like, you need to install it? He's like, yeah, I gotta be finished. I was like, all right, plan better. But guess what? No worries, we'll be there. 1 o'clock. For real? Yeah, we'll be there. But that's, it's not for everybody, But it's that relationship that I do have with him. Definitely. It's like, dude, you need that Hail Mary. I got you, bro. Of course I'm gonna catch the Hail Mary for you. Can't do it for everybody. But it's things that we do. And like for you guys, whatever it is, we always come through. We've changed plans. I've lost money doing things, but it's all about coming through. You guys have to shine. If I don't do my part to help you shine, then what do you need me for? Because you guys are at that sense of urgency. And that's what I try to talk to people and you guys listening that are nurseries that supply landscapers or supply anybody in general that are selling a product and a service. Guys, listen to how important it is. I preach about getting in touch with the 1%ers, okay? They need things done fast. They need it done right the first time, not the fifth time, the first time. And you got to come ready to the table, and that's how you get plugged into working with these guys. It's not rocket science. It's just doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
It's
and
not hard.
I think that's a big thing. I think people, especially in our industry, they just overcomplicate things. And
things.
it's just like you really just gotta, things, planned out, or your design, it can be crazy, or wildly implemented, but it's just, you got to keep it simple. Everything's broken down. There's processes and stuff. We call it my dad called it when he was at Disney, the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid.
Oh, nice. I like
So
it. I like it.
That's what you got to go off of. As big as it is or as little as it is, you got to keep it simple. So the whole team can encompass the project and it flows properly.
Yeah, no, that's a lot. You guys heard it from their mouths, so yeah. Not something that I'm here trying to push. It's a lie. It's like the reality of what it is. And I see you guys growing to be whatever you guys want it to be. Straight up, because you guys are doing everything right.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think sometimes when people look at partnerships, and I know John gets asked all the time, and I do too, about, well, how is it having a business partner? I'm like, it's great.
It's the best thing ever. So glad I did it.
It's great. I said, and because I'm kind of the crazy one in our partnership, and John's the kind of the more anchored one on the end. So it's we set the tones and we vibe off each other, and we hit angles. I'm not good at this, or he's not good at that. We cover each other, and we complement each other. It's not only we cover, we complement each other. Yeah. And I think that's a big thing in a partnership, is having someone to work with that you complement them.
Yeah.
And John, when we're in meetings together on projects, it's it's an honor. It's awesome to work with John and our team of people. It's amazing,
that's definitely
really,
what
it really is.
Yeah, I read something, or I saw something on IG that said that, I don't remember exactly what it said, but it said that that only 6% of businesses will ever reach $1 million in gross throughout a year in the United States of America, but the ones that have the biggest chance of doing it are the ones that have partners.
Yeah, we blew that out of the water last year.
Yeah, I'm sure. We don't need to talk about numbers here, because it doesn't matter. But for sure, guys, and then like the exciting part for me, and we can unravel it real quick on here on this podcast. For me, it's like, all right, you guys have figured out how to, go after something that excites you, that you feel purposeful doing. Now the money's coming in. And what's exciting after that is now you're at the next step of, what are we going to do with the money? Like, you'll get there. If you're not there yet, you'll get there. Where the first hit with Uncle Sam, you're going to feel it. And you'll be like, Lord Jesus, we need to figure something out. And that's what, for me, it's always been exciting for me. When I was younger, I would always look at that point in my life. Not being in my life, not being there, 10 years away from that. But I'll be like, what am I going to do when I have this problem? And to this day, I still do it. I'll jump 5-10 years ahead. And I'm like, man, I cannot wait to get there, because I'm going to have these problems. And then that's how you level up and you deal with that level of problem. Like, I can't wait to deal with that level of problem.
Oh, most definitely. Yep.
Yeah. I'll be at I was telling you the other day, April, we got to, finish up taxes or whatever, or get an extension, whatever. But I always like to finish in April. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, my tax guy is the bomb. Like, he's on another level. He's great. But he's been with me since day one. Am I his largest client? The CPA, am I his largest client? Like, I need some guy that works with, like, huge portfolios where I'm like a guppy, where he can just look at me and be like, yeah, dude, just do this, and that's it. And he blows me up, and I give him a nice, fat check and tell him, dude, thank you so much. You just saved me all this bread. One day you guys will eventually be there as well.
We have Alex already has a whole.
Yeah, we'll go a whole game plan.
Oh, we have some cool.
He wants to do.
Oh yeah.
A whole game plan.
Yeah, we kind of have some. We don't want to give too much away, but we kind of have like a smash between. It's kind of like a Disney concept between nature and art and live exhibitions or exhibits and stuff. So we got some cool ideas coming up.
That's cool.
And things.
Talk to me about the edible stuff that you're telling me. You have a garden?
Yeah, so I feel like my years in the industry now, the past maybe 2 or 3, I've gotten more into like the gardening. I call it the foo-foo part of the industry, like the vegetable gardening and fruit trees and stuff, which is awesome. Amazing, great industry, love it. But at my property, my farm property, I have like probably it's probably like a little under quarter acre area I have off where I've implemented all sorts of fruit trees and fruit shrubs, and to make a food forest, kind of, which is like a new trend. I feel like everyone's getting more into the sustainable foodscapes at their house and food gardens.
I see that a lot.
That's trending more. So kind of evolving that. I've been on our exploration trips, been picking up kind of new fruit trees I've been trying out, and new shrubs we're implementing into the garden. So I'm excited. My whole goal is maybe within 3 to 5 years to be able to have a sustainable property where I don't have to go to Publix and spend $1 million for 2 grocery bags. Would be great.
I know it's true for 2 grocery bags, and you're not exaggerating it. Oh, I see it. I follow a couple with one of their boys, with a buddy of theirs on Instagram, that they buy houses. They turn them into sustainable, edible.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Those guys are awesome.
Bro, those guys are awesome. And then I forget their name.
Growing homes.
Growing homes. There you go.
Growing homes.
So they do the whole landscape is edible, or like it produces fruit or vegetables, and then they'll rent it out or they'll sell it. So that's cool. And then I always also follow this guy named Onsite Trav.
Yeah, I've seen that guy.
Onsite Trav. I'm giving you a shout out, bro. We've talked a lot. He's growing bamboo trees right now, but he's doing a whole edible place where people can come and do like a U-pick as well, because he's really into that whole prepping thing, which I feel like anyone that has a light bulb turned on is there.
Definitely.
So that's something good. The only thing you gotta have is some bullets, just to make sure that no one shows up to steal it all. That's the worst part.
But it's cool. I think it's amazing. I think for me, like with the food forest, it's amazing because I'll take the kids out there in the evening time. We get to spend time together at sunset in the food forest and look at the fruit trees and the plants we have in there. So it's really
nature,
cool.
Bro.
Yeah, it's momentous. It's momentous for me. So I have a lot of cool moments in nature with the kids and the family. So
that's what it's all about.
It's a big thing for me.
And you're married?
No, not married.
So what do you see for the future of the green industry and the youth? We ask everyone this question.
Yeah, I mean, I think I preach it. So I went to Ave Maria University, which I got a typical humanities degree. It wasn't. Everyone always asks, did you go to college for this? Like, no, actually, I did the complete opposite of what I should have done. But I still maintain a lot of contacts over there. And that's something I preach on a daily basis of, like, you guys need to get more kids into the green industry, into the blue-collar fields. And what's really cool is they actually just added a minor in agriculture at the university.
That's awesome. That's
which
big.
is like, I was like, that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah.
Because there is so much opportunity. And especially like a lot of the other blue collar areas there's not a lot of people filling these shoes.
There's not.
Like we touched on, there's a lot of passionate guys, but there's not, the quality is there, but there's not a lot of quantity.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to see is really encouraging, especially in the high schools, getting kids more hands-on in the field, with, food forests or with more of an agricultural approach.
Plants, with design,
with
plants, with anything.
Exactly. And because it is such a great profession.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, we're not really working. We get to do what we love, hanging out.
You're making it happen.
We're making it happen, exactly.
And I see that across all fields of the green industry, all of them. I feel like lawn maintenance has like the most of them. I feel like lawn maintenance is the best thing for a young kid to get into. It's easy to do. It's easy to start. It's a low investment, and I see a lot more youth there. But
and it builds character.
It builds character.
You
gotta start.
Instead of having these kids on their inside, on their phones, it's like, no, go out and mow the lawn.
Yeah, you got to start.
Get your hands
the
dirty.
opportunities are crazy. And if you are that person that's like, man, I want to make $300,000 a year, well, go out and you could do it. And it's not even you having to work for yourself. You can build yourself up and build your brand, build your reputation on who you are and what you bring to the table with just going and becoming fearless, that you could work at a huge design firm. And why couldn't you guys have guys that you pay $300,000 for, and create those opportunities doing landscapes in Dubai and doing landscapes all over the world? Why not? I see it as limitless. And if you have that mindset, it's like, yeah, of course you're going to grasp it all.
I kind of have mixed emotions about, I have great foresight that our green industry is obviously going to thrive. Everything's going more green. Everything's more going sustainable and stuff. For me, I think it's more about like with our younger youth is being able to implement the work ethics to be able to keep the green industry going. Is a lot of people, everything's in your face nowadays really quick and stuff, and people see videos of this and that, but they're, you know, the whole process behind it, you know, the work, the years, you know, everyone sees you or sees us at a certain point in your life, and it's like, hey, you know, I've been doing this for 18 years, 16
a long
years,
time.
you know. So it's like a lot of people don't see that whole build up to be where you're at, you know, all the failures, all the late nights, all the worrying, you know, money in and out. You know, I think that's what worries me a little bit, you know, with the direction with our younger people are.
I love that. I love what you said. It's very, very true.
Yeah, I think especially with like technology too, is we've been pushed with like that instant gratification hit.
Oh yeah,
you know,
we see
especially
that a lot.
Like the phone generation, they're just kind of like, I need it now, or like must be nice. Like I'll get that sometimes. People will message me like, must be nice. I'm like, dude, you have no idea, like the countless, you know, 80-hour weeks and late nights and early mornings that I've done.
Wait till you're at 10 mil.
Yeah, they don't see that.
till you're
I
at
mean,
10
same with
mil.
Alex. I mean, the only person that really sees that is like my wife. You know what I mean? Like she knows what I've gone through.
Yeah, because you're not home.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you show up
She's like, hey,
sweaty, stinky,
Yep.
dirty.
Yep. God bless my wife. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, God bless us all.
Patient woman.
Yeah, the wives make a big difference in our careers, but it's that, man. It's, you know, people see, let's say like they see your IG page or they see what we do, they're like, oh man, I want to do that, or they think that they're just gonna jump in and it's gonna explode. It's far from it, bro.
My first job that I did in the industry was with a 2008 Tacoma, a trailer with plywood sides.
Okay.
That was my first, like that was like my first real job. You know what I mean? I was paying
Yeah.
like college kids cash to come like help me.
Help you.
You know what I mean? Like that was my first job.
That's rough. College kids
Yeah.
cash to come. That's rough.
It was
That's
bad.
rough because they
It was
don't
bad.
work hard.
It was bad. No, it was bad. But we got it done.
Yeah.
The customer was happy. I mean, it looked great, but I mean that's where it started.
That's where
you
it
know,
started,
people but then
yeah.
people see, you know, the trucks and the equipment, all the guys like, wow, this is crazy. It's like, yeah, you should have seen like how this actually started.
Yeah. No, it's
So-
crazy, dude. The stories are crazy, and that instant gratification dopamine hit that everybody's after, that's not how it is. And Eddie always talks to me about it too. He's like, dude, before you even jumped on IG, you've been building this, you know, hiddenly for 12 years before you jumped on. So now you're here, and everyone thinks that that's how it is, and it's far from it. Yeah. You know, to get to have, you know, just everything that is touched today, dude, it's a lot. You know,
Slow and steady.
Slow and steady,
And that's-
and fearless about the losses, and just, you know, leaning on God is what it is at the end of the day, because you gotta have somebody to lean on that you can put your faith in and trust on,
100%.
that shows you things differently. You can have a clear mind, because it's rough, but it's not rough. Like I feel like today it's not rough. It's like I know it. It's like, oh, what happened? Oh, that guy doesn't want to pay. How much does he owe? 74. We give him credit. Okay, that's all right. Well, let's start with a phone call and let's see what he does. You know, if not, we got, you know, plan B, C, you know, D and E. Let's see how far he wants to go. You know, and then things, you know, like in our industry, for us is the cold fronts, the hurricanes, as growers. So I've had years I lose $500,000. So my friends are like, bro, let's go party. It's cold, bonfire. Dude, I'm gonna lose $500,000 tonight. Like, bye. I don't tell nobody that. but it's like, yeah, dude, you go have fun at your bonfire. I'm gonna have my own bonfire over here, and I'll be by myself out here if I have to, because that's just what it is. But no one sees that, and no one feels that. No one knows how that feels
Not at
unless
all.
you go through it. You know.
I remember a buddy of mine back in Hurricane Ian, and I was like, it was like
That was
the hurricane
brutal.
just happened. It was horrendous. And he's like, dude, you must be so stoked right now. You're gonna go make so much money.
So much
and I
money,
looked at him
yeah.
like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I said, no. I said, this stinks.
Yeah.
Like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all this, like,
You don't want that to happen.
no.
It pushes
Hurricanes are the
everything
worst.
behind it.
Everything's
Destroys
behind,
everybody.
destroys the beautiful landscapes that we had worked so hard for many years to build and cultivate and maintain.
I know.
And it's just like, gone.
What sets you apart from your competition and what you guys do? One of the things you wrote is understanding of design and the design implementation at the same time. I want to know about that.
Well, I think there's a couple points to that. So I think with design and design implementation, those are two, for me, in my eyes, those are two separate things. So you have a design that you can put on a computer, you can put on a piece of paper, and that's, you're going to look at it right there. Okay. But what's that material, going to do 5, 10, 15 years from now? So you have your design, which we have a lot of people in, especially in our area, they'll put all this stuff together, but it's, stuff that's small at the time, but it's going to get 30 feet tall, lower shrubs that are low at the time that are going to get 5 feet tall, that are the front shrubs. So, that aspect, me and John covered, I think, to like the full degree in our designs and our focus to bring the truest, most unique design implementations to the industry.
That'll last.
That will
and
last.
Growing
as
years and years and years.
And it depends, because design, like I said, there's no right or wrong to design. You have certain scenarios, certain things, sustainability factors to your design. But bringing everything to the forefront right away and the knowledge of our background really makes a huge difference. And your client too. If you're dealing with, like I said, we're dealing with the 1%ers, clientele. So knowing what you're doing and bringing that to the table right away is a huge game changer, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of big box guys out there that have a lot of nice trucks, Willie, that they're a certain color, they kind of leave you blue in the face, but they're robots, and there's no story to their whole process.
I know, but that's a good thing. There's levels to landscape.
Correct.
There's levels to architecture. There's levels to design. And you guys bring the art.
Correct.
The real art.
The real art.
And you guys are in that category of landscaping. And that's why you reach the 1%ers that are into that.
Correct.
Because there's 1%ers that don't care.
Yeah.
They rather have concrete from the asphalt to the back gate. There is those type of people.
And they're good. But it's just the depth of it. Like I said,
you guys go really deep.
Correct. I feel like when some of these companies get bought out, they become corporate conglomerates. You lose touch. They're getting work. Okay, I'm not saying they're not getting work, but it's the type of service and implementation you're going to get from us. We take pride in, and we ensure that every aspect that we're providing in that design is going to be amazing. That sets the expectations and beyond.
I love it, bro. I love it. You guys are so passionate. If you guys haven't got anything from this episode, well, I'm sure you guys have, is how passionate these two guys are. You guys are really passionate. You go really deep into what you do.
Thank you.
That's what I see, man. That's why you're where you're at. Like without even sugarcoating it. It's something. It's an edge that you guys that's different. You guys are artists. You guys are hungry. You guys want everything done right. The first thing is, are we going to click with these people? Because if they might love us, but if we don't like them, we're not going to work with them.
Correct.
Like, dude, you guys don't care. You're there to do what God put you on earth to do. And if they ain't going to fund the bill, or if they ain't going to, allow you to do something, or if they're going to have an attitude, or they're going to have whatever, then it's like, bye. I'll spend my time.
You got to know when to walk away.
I think
that's a big thing. You see a lot of people that take these jobs and then they really regret it in the end. The jobs obviously have to be done. But sometimes it's just like they can take you for a loophole in the job. So
I love that.
Knowing your business.
You got to know it, bro, and also being upfront, like you said, upfront. I love being upfront. I'm upfront with everybody. Hey, there's gonna be problems with this, but this is how I feel like. I'll hit you with the problem that's coming, but I'm gonna tell you exactly how we're gonna fix it. And that right there is exactly what you guys do with what you said. Hey, this is gonna be like this. I know you love the tree. It's only gonna be 6 months, so 6 months we're gonna replace it with this, or this one's gonna flush out in 3 months after that because this is how this plant grows. And like you're already coming up with solutions, even though there's problems.
Right.
And you're being forward and transparent with the customer, even though they're elite, even though they're deep pockets. That doesn't matter. You're treating them like a human being. You're being real. You're being honest, and that goes a long way. Wow. You guys have anything else you want to say?
That was a lot.
That was fun.
Took you guys down a journey.
I love it, man.
It was a journey, man. Life is a journey. And you have to look back at those moments because they'll spark new things.
Oh, 100%.
100%. And I don't know. That's why I love doing it. Awesome. Guys.
Thank you so much, Willie.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate
awesome.
it, man.
I finally got to meet you boys in person, not on the phone.
We got to get you to Naples.
Yeah, whenever you want. whatever you want to do. We can go walk that estate. We
can do a podcast.
We
on
could
the
do a
beach or something.
podcast, dude. Hey, listen.
Can we do a podcast in the lagoon?
We could probably we could get something worked out where we could do a podcast
On a paddle boat.
No, we're like a lagoon, a state mansion lagoon.
It's like low water, so we could like.
We can set something up like
Dude,
that.
whatever you
Let's do
guys
it.
want.
Let's do it.
We're open for anything. We're open for
John
anything.
will put some crazy landscape lighting.
Yeah, whatever you want. I told the guy at Chevy yesterday. I told him, the manager. I'm like, dude, because he wants to work on something. Like, dude, look, how does this sound? Z06, a Z06, and we do the podcast in the Z06 driving down Brickell. He's like, let's go. He was ready. I was like, wait, we have things to do still. Like, I gotta ride, you know.
Oh my
But
gosh.
we can definitely set up anything you guys want. I'm always down to do that. There's a lot of cool things that we can collab on and work on, aside from just taking plants and aside from just doing this. You guys coming here,
Definitely.
I would love to go do that. So,
Love it.
guys, I love you guys. Thank
Awesome,
you guys so
man.
much.
Thank
God
so
bless
much,
you,
man.
boys.
Appreciate it, brother.
I hope you guys watching and listening took something valuable from this episode, because that means we all did our job here. Because the point of this podcast is to give back, is to connect you guys with professionals. If you guys are in the Naples area and you got a customer that you're trying to grab, but he's too big for you, reach out to these guys, because they're gonna, one, come through for you, make you shine. And then when you do that, I already know that the opportunity list for you is going to grow and the doors are going to open, because that's what it is. It's not competition. We don't want competition. We want collaborations.
Right.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, that's how things really grow. So, guys, I love you. God bless you. Stay pumped. All right? Let's go. We'll see us on the next one.
Time
Bye.
for the blueprint. Mindset, elevate, thrive, and demonstrate, planting a movement. Sow the seeds, educate the flourish, building up the team. Our network with purpose. Industry is green, only scratch the surface. No, this calling is deep. Nobody gonna outwork us. Yeah, we chasing greatness, trying to give the code. Moving up with patience, foundation stone. Doing what it takes, we're here to break the mold. This for anyone who wanna level up. Let's grow.